Mackenzie. I am a first-year osteopathic medical student in New York City, and I moved here from out of state with my significant other and my 7-year-old daughter. And I am going to start vlogging my experiences along the way of being a mom and a student and a good girlfriend and somehow keeping the house from burning down. And I just thought I'd share my experiences here in case there was any other mothers out there that are looking to get into medicine and are worried about the workload and if that's going to be something they can do. I just finished my first semester and it was a lot of work. It was very difficult, but it was definitely insightful, and it helped me learn a lot about myself and how to juggle the roles a little bit better. So going into second semester, it is going to be more difficult because I have 9 classes instead of 7, so 31 credits, and it's going to be a lot more work than first semester, but I think we all have had a little bit more time to adjust to life in New York City. Before I decided to go to medical school, I had gotten a business degree, and I was actually working as a bookkeeper and then an accountant for small companies, and I just decided to go back actually fairly early after getting my 4-year degree. I just knew medicine was what I always wanted to do. So since I was a child, I had wanted to go to medical school, but due to some life circumstances, one of them being that I did have my daughter at a younger age while I was in undergrad, and at the time it just seemed that medicine was out of the question. And so I made the decision to get a business degree instead. So I knew that I could get a job easily and support my family. So that's what I did. And in the back of my head, I was always thinking, I really wish I would have tried medicine. And so my family at the time was like, you're young, do it. What could happen? At least you tried, kind of thing. And I decided, you're right, I'm going to try it. And so I had eventually left my full-time position, and I decided to go back to school, and I did really well in the sciences and I enjoyed it a lot, and I said, I'm going for it, and here I am today. So it's definitely possible to do. You just have to work really hard and change your priorities and be very adaptable and flexible, because things are constantly changing. And that's one of the things that I learned about myself, is that I can usually adapt pretty quickly and pretty well to changes of plans. So I start my day off with the to-do list every day, but to be honest with you, it changes almost every day to accommodate whatever changes happen in my schedule that are out of my control, like needing to pick up my daughter from school, or maybe she got sick, or whatever it may be. You have to be adaptable and you have to be able to adjust, which is hard to do when you're supposed to be so, you're supposed to be set into a very good routine in medical school. They say routines are best and preparation is key. But when you are a parent in medical school, a lot of those typical things, you can try to have them apply to you, and sometimes it works really well. But at the same time, you need to put yourself in another category because you don't have the same schedule as another student who doesn't have responsibilities of a family at home. So you have to be very willing to make those changes and work with them. And I think that if you're able to work with the changes, you can adapt. So a lot of people ask me, well, why did you decide to go into medicine? You had a career, you were doing well. And some people even think that I'm being selfish for choosing that route when maybe staying with the route that I was in might give me more time with my daughter, or this and that. And the truth is that I think it was the right decision for me and my family, and it might be different for somebody else's family, but I was pretty unhappy in my career path. And I think that my daughter could see that I was pretty unhappy. And I think she understands that I'm working towards a goal that won't be reached for quite a while, but once I get there, I will be very happy. And that's the plan, is to, I want to be in a position and working with people and doing something that I love, that I don't want to retire from, because that's what I think I was put on here on earth to do. So the fulfillment of that, I think, will be extraordinary, and I am hoping that my daughter sees that hard work does pay off and that you can do things even when people say you can't do it. I'm hoping that she can see that you can do it. You just might have to find a different path, or you might have to work around more obstacles than other people. So how did I survive first semester? It was a big challenge, like I said. I'm a night owl, so some people are early risers, and I am not one of them. You're almost forced to be, when you're in medical school, to be an early riser to make it to class in time, but for the most part, I do my best studying at night. And so because I have a daughter, my typical day of full studying would look like I get up around 6 or 7, get my daughter ready for school, or get myself ready, get my daughter ready, we eat, and then my boyfriend drives. Usually he will drive me to school, drop me off because it's on the way to her school, and then he drives himself to work. And bless his heart, because it's a long drive, and in New York City traffic is no joke. So thank you if you're watching. So thank you very much. He's been a great support system for us, but he usually drives me to school and then her to school so that she can be there by 8:20. So I'm typically at school by 8 every day. And I'd like it to be earlier, but it's just the way that it works out for us. I could walk to school too, which I have done plenty of times. But I mean, if you can get a ride, sometimes it's useful too. Then once I'm at school, usually I have class most of the day until, depending on what day it is, you get out at different times. But, you know, on a full day, we're there till 4. Going into this next semester, I'll be there till 5. And so during class, it's hard to get a lot of studying done, so you want to do a lot of anything else that you can do during class. Try to get that stuff done. Downloading PowerPoints, downloading videos, lectures, all that kind of stuff. Try to get that done, as well as, you know, pay attention to the clickers. My school does things different, so all of our lectures are recorded, and we are supposed to watch them at home before going to class, and class is filled with clicker questions rather than having an actual lecture go on. So it can be good and bad. The good news is you can speed up videos so you can get through a lecture a lot faster. The bad news is sometimes lectures take a lot longer to get through because you have to rewind and pause and take notes, and so a 1-hour lecture could turn into a 3-hour lecture. But it's nice that you can work at your own pace. The problem also, you know, it can be problematic when you have, you know, 7 to 9 classes to watch lectures for, and you're expected to maintain that. But if there is, you know, sometimes 3 or 4 lectures that are an hour long each, or maybe even more, for each of those classes, you're looking at almost a full work week of just watching lectures before class. So it is a lot more work outside of the classroom than I expected, especially because we're required to be in class for, you know, at least going forward in second semester for 3 full days straight, from 8 to 5 p.m. So it's almost like having 2 jobs. And then when you have a child, you have a 3rd job. So usually at 5 I have to leave to go get my daughter from school. I take the subway, grab her, get home, do dinner, try to get some homework going for her. And all in all, by the time I sit down and am able to start studying, it's 10 o'clock at night. So oftentimes I will study till 1 or 2 in the morning and then do it all again. And I will catch up on sleep sometimes on the weekends, but you do sacrifice a lot of your sleep to keep things going at home. And then, you know, finals was very difficult because it was a few weeks where we had to do so much studying. I was gone pretty much from the moment we got up till, you know, 9 or 10 o'clock at night. I would come home really late, and Dylan, my boyfriend, took over for watching Ellie and my daughter and getting her to bed and stuff. So that was really tough. We did, we're going to change some things for this time around when I have exams, like every week. But it's easy to fall behind, and it's easy to get in the pattern of cramming for tests. And it's very scary when you think about cramming, because you're like, oh no, I'm supposed to know this stuff for step one. How am I going to retain all of this? And what it boils down to is you're going to have to take time to revisit the material again later, maybe on your breaks, like over winter break or over your summer. You're going to have to go through everything again and again, and really get it set in stone in your head. And I'm also trying to find the balance. And it's funny that we say balance, because nothing is ever in balance. It's more like putting out a different fire every day. So your attention and your priorities are constantly shifting to what's priority right now. And you have to try to keep that in mind while studying. You shouldn't be studying for one class that you don't have a test in for a couple weeks. If you have, 2 more tests before that, then most of my focus is going to be on the upcoming test classes. Having your classmates as your support system is essential. You really need to be collaborative with your classmates, because at the end of the day, you guys are all in the same boat, and you're in this together, whether or not you have the same background, the same family life or not. So when you're a mom and you're a medical student, I feel like the roles, there's still a lot of emphasis on the mom being the primary caregiver, even though that has changed a lot over the years. I still feel that as a mom, we still do a lot of the home responsibilities, even if we are working, even if we are in medical school. A lot of that falls on you, and a lot of that is because of the way it's been for so many years in society, I think. But we have to learn to let that go a little bit and allow help and allow people to come in. So for me, allowing my significant other to do the dishes his way, and to make dinner and to do things his way, it can be hard, because a lot of us medical students are a little bit type A, just a little bit, and we want to control everything, and we really have to just be graceful and let it go, and let others take over and help out, so that when we do have free time, it's not going to be spent doing dishes and laundry. It should be spent with our families. So I hope that my vlogs will be helpful going forward. I think I'm gonna post some more tips about how to juggle being a mom in med school, as well as different study techniques, and anything else that I think would be useful to other parents out there trying to pursue medicine. All right, thanks for watching. Bye.